Well, I'm delighted to be here, and particularly it's the House magazine that's running this particular hustings, because for 23 years, I'm sorry, I was editor of it, and that did give me some experience of how to be impartial. So while I cannot say what our two previous speakers have said, and said I've sat in the chair of the House, I have had some experience of that. I was a chairman of standing committees for over 15 years, and of course the last few years I've chaired the Northern Ireland Affairs Committee. But that's enough by way of credentials. I have not been conducting the sort of campaign that I think some may have been doing, but I don't blame them for doing that, but I stand here on my own without a campaign team, offering my services because I believe that I can serve the House of Commons in the last few years of my membership of it with a fierce impartiality which must be the most defining characteristic of any speaker. Now, much has been said about rebalancing the interests of the executive and the legislature, and that, of course, is fundamental to reasserting Parliament's central role in the national life. But there is only so much that a speaker can initiate. There is much that he can respond to and encourage. I would certainly encourage the selection of select committees in the way that Sir Nicholas would advocate. But as Alan Hazel has said, the Speaker can make it known that that would be his wish, but he cannot impose it. But there are certain things that a Speaker can do immediately, which would, I think, help to redress the balance. First of all, I would want to be the champion of the House in the threat, and it is a threat, of this new parliamentary standards authority. I make no objection at all to their looking independently after our finances. After what has recently happened, that is clearly necessary. But I do not wish an appointed quango to have control over the elected representatives of the people of this country. I believe it's also crucially important that the Speaker should more properly recognise the equality of each member. Each member represents a constituency within the United Kingdom. Each member has an equal claim on the attention of the House. How does one set about doing that? Well, I would, for a start, limit the number of questions the Leader of the Opposition was allowed to ask at Prime Minister's Questions Hour. It's become a Punch and Judy show between the two of them, and by the time you get to the Leader of the Liberal Party, last week it was 17 minutes past 12. That, frankly, is not acceptable. I would want more backbenchers and more punchy questions, too, from whoever the Leader of the Opposition is, and more precise answers. I want to liven this up in the proper sense, not to make it more of a charade, because that's what it is at the moment. I would also take it upon myself to name any minister who had revealed the statement that he was supposed to make to the House to the Today programme. Yeah. Because that is just not right. And I think we need to have a speaker who is going to be tough on those things. I would want to change the rules of debate. I want to have a printed list of some speakers, but I want in a full day's debate to have at least 1 hour where members could catch the speaker's eye, literally. Members who were truly interested in the subject that was being debated, who felt they'd got something to contribute. As long as they were there, they could have a real chance of being called. And I would not allow members to be called who were on the list if they had not been there for the opening speeches. And if they didn't stay for the 2 speeches afterwards, they wouldn't go on the list again for a little time. I think one's going to bring some sort of discipline. I would also want to use more generously the urgent question and the granting of the emergency debate. Because again, it is very important that members should have a better opportunity. I have passed a little piece of paper to say that I am within my last 30 seconds. I would want to make myself available to all members whenever I possibly could, and I want to use Speaker's House in a way that we could bring people together from all walks of life, all parts of the country, for the sort of discussions and building of bridges that we do not have as much as we should in this country. Thank you very much.